Hi everyone, it's Cal. I hope you're doing well. Oh, no power for an entire day here in South Italy. I wanted to just pop on and quickly say hi and talk about the power of forgiveness and humility. And a lot of people feel that forgiveness and humility will open up the third eye or burst you through the chakras. And I have to let you know that forgiveness and humility is the same thing as deep compassion. And it's deep, compassionate love that is fueling the Kundalini, along with the strength of your body and mind and the power of your focus. So it's those three things: the strength of your body, how much power you can garner will determine not just how high you go in the Kundalini, but the breadth of it. So you can blast through the Kundalini and you can have it, your strength can be maybe regular, or if you're very powerful, work out a lot, and you have a lot of strength in a couple other ways, you can blast through it so that your connection as you go through is that much bigger. And that means you can have a connection that is this big, or you can have a connection that is this big, depending on your amount of power and how much you're roping in. And of course, this energy goes nowhere unless you have the velocity of deep, compassionate love. Excuse me, the vibration of deep, compassionate love. Because when you have the vibration of deep, compassionate love and you're focused on your heart, and I mean deep, you anchor to the mother. And I know I'm always saying this, so I'm sorry for those of you that have to hear me again and again. You anchor to the mother, and then she pushes the energy, or you utilize it all the way up to go to the Father, because you are really going to the Father kind of on your own strength. The Father is the Alpha and the Mother is the Omega. And a way to really think about this system is think of yourself as a tree. And the roots of the tree are the mother. That is the big fat root ball. That's the mother. And it's kind of interesting because the whole system actually kind of does work like the way a tree grows. It has two streams going in two directions. And as the heart of the tree gets bigger, as the tree grows, the heart of the tree gets bigger, it grows from the inside out. So that this system is working in the same way. So you've got the roots of the tree, the root ball, the mother, and you're garnering all her universal energy through the root ball to push up, to bring all your energy together through the center of your body, which incidentally in tree growth, it's called, I believe it's called heartwood, the center. So again, another similarity. And as you connect to the Father, think of that as creativity, blossoming, information. The blossoms on the tree are the beautiful Father, because the sort of Father aspect of our being is the peacock, right? And the mother aspect of the being is sort of like the partridge, like you don't notice her as much, and but the male aspect is sort of the creative. And it's interesting because in the natural world, it's actually opposite than it is in the human world, where it is generally, except in some tribes in Africa, but generally it is the male in nature that has all the beautiful markings and the fabulous tail and does the dance for the woman. And it's the woman in nature is the plainer, more off to the side. Do I like him? I don't know, this kind of thing. And she's very subdued, and it's the male that does the dance and has all the sort of natural adornments. So yeah, I just wanted to get back to forgiveness and humility. These are, of course, for true forgiveness, you need humility. So that's sort of the first thing, the humility. And to create forgiveness, really, the power of forgiveness really is fueling the entire Kundalini, like deep, 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 deep love. So another thing I wanted to point out was I read something the other day that said that the universe is not intelligent, and that couldn't be further from the truth. The universe is incredibly intelligent. Think of the universe as sort of the Divine Mother. She is she's so intelligent that she has absolutely no discernment, because she is within all things and she sees the point of view from all things. So she does not discern, she loves all. It's the alpha aspect, the Divine Father, who has the judgment. And because he has less knowledge, he is able to create, whereas the mother doesn't, because she has more infinite knowledge than him. Now, one is not better than the other. One is not better. They are both together creating this thing we call life, and it's actually the Father that is the creator of the whole system, and we would just be smoky little tufts of dark smoke out in the universe if it wasn't for the Divine Father. And he's the one who's just, and he's the one who wants the balance, and he's the one who is the protector. He is, well, to some degree, I should actually say, because the mother is the great protector. So let me retract that a little bit. But it's difficult because when the situations change, there are certain vibrations. When there's a bit of a tweak, it can actually change a bit. But in general, the Father, because he has less knowledge than her, she is the great knower, she is the seer, she is within everything. And he is too, but to a less extent. But he is fantastic. He is the Alpha. He is the one who seeks and attains and has the valor and blows the trumpet and creates all things fabulous. So, but she is the great all. She wears the crown because he can't do anything without her saying, okay. And she says to love, and she includes all. So, and the Alpha is different. He's singular. She's all inclusive. He's singular. I'm sort of getting a little bit off track here, but I did want to point out the power behind forgiveness, and that to get there, you have to go through the door of humility. And whether you're working on these areas, this area, that area, these two things, humility and forgiveness, open those portals. Deep compassion is the thing that, deep compassionate love is the one vibration that opens all the invisible doors in your being. And that's why doing it is so fabulous, because we do not have the intelligence of the Great Mother. But when we are in a deep, deep compassionate state, we do. And that's why all the doors inside of our body unlock. But it isn't just this, it's the amount of power you have, it's the amount of focus you have as well. And of course, there are many other things involved in doing the Kundalini. And the Kundalini, I just want to point out again, is not just opening this or opening this. It is the unbroken line of energy flow. The unbroken line of energy flow. So it's when this clicks in and you have an unbroken line of energy flow. Now, having said that, you can actually do the Kundalini in, you don't have to do it in just one get-go. You can work at it in parts and have, how do I say this? You can work at it in parts where you do one part of the Kundalini, then you do another, and then you do another, where it all fits together, and you have suddenly that super divine flow going on, that powerful flow in the two directions. Now, I know that might sound unclear and confusing. You have to remember that I don't know all the ways you can do the Kundalini. I do know many things about it, probably the most from anybody, I'm going to say, on the planet, because I did it with such strength and so much intense focus. And I am just saying I don't know the whole of what the mother knows. Maybe there are some other secret ways of doing these things. I have heard many stories, but I just don't know the accuracy of them. So I tend to really default to my own experience, because I know that 110%. And that's really what I want to share with you. I want to share with you the truth of how I know it 110%. And all the other things that I don't know 100% on, I'm leaving to the wayside. Maybe others do know. So it's really important for me to be really clear with what I'm delivering to you. And having said that, if you're not on the webinar, I've been working on the webinar for the past 3 days, talking about, you know, trying to get all the bits and pieces together to really bring the clear picture, because I'd written actually a 1,000-page manual on it, and then I didn't publish it. I published it, then I pulled it off, and because it wasn't perfect. And let me tell you something, perfect is a feeling. It really is a feeling. As much as your eye can be staring at something, it is that feeling of knowing where you go, okay, and now that's done. And now this is right. And I know you know that feeling. And the more we move from this whole mental analysis, and the more we move into feeling and accept the feeling and let feeling point out what needs to happen. And a lot of times we do that just by sitting, just by having a moment, pulling back for a moment, or pulling back for a day, or, you know, taking the time off. And my breakdown after 12 years of writing this manual, I didn't have those breaks. And if I'd had taken those breaks, things may have been much different. So I really advise pulling back and taking breaks to allow the mind to rest. Okay, so if you're not on the webinar, I would love to have you join the webinar. It's going to be super interesting, and because it's really all about you, why we're here, what's happening to our bodies and our minds, where we're headed, and what we can expect. So if you haven't joined the webinar, please do. I'm going to put the link below. And other than that, I really hope you got something from this video. And if there was anything unclear or if you have questions about anything, I'd love to hear your comments below because they really help me clarify. And you guys are interesting. You guys have lots to say. And I really enjoy reading your comments and learning from you too. So please don't hesitate to drop a comment or a question or ask me to clarify or ask me to talk about something. And if I have the knowledge, I'd be happy to share what I know. So yeah, other than that, I hope you have a great day whenever you are. I hope you got something from this video, and I hope to see you soon. Take care for now. Bye.